Thank you to Alvin's Cables for today's video. When it comes to building out your camera rig, it's super important that you use high quality dependable cables because your camera rig is only going to be as dependable as the cables that you end up using to build it. So today I want to take a little bit of time to review a couple of cables that I received in the mail from Alvin's Cables. They actually reached out to me to see if I was interested in doing a collaboration video with them, and prior to me accepting that offer, I did a little bit of research online to see what quality I can expect from the cables that they were going to send me. And I will tell you right now, from all the reviews and all the comments that I read online, everybody that owns a set of Alvin cables has been very, very impressed. And this is from people that have Sony camera rigs, Nikon camera rigs, Canon camera rigs, all the way up to Arri Alexa camera rigs. So when it comes to reliable, high quality cables, Alvin's Cables is definitely a leader in the industry when it comes to providing high quality camera cables that will help you get the job done and get it done right. So I'm super excited to test out a couple of these cables that they were kind enough to send over to me for me to use with my camera rig, which is going to be with my Sony FX30. I requested a couple of cables from their product line and they were very kind enough to send them over to me. But let's go ahead and get started with this bag. They actually sent the two set of cables that I requested inside this very nice soft bag. This is going to be very convenient when it comes to traveling with my cables, because usually what I do is I just throw my cables within my camera backpack or within a pocket, and this is going to help me keep them organized and clean. I can cinch them up from the top to prevent anything from damaging my cables or potentially getting into the ends of the ports. But let's move on to the two different type of cables that I requested from their product line. Within this bag, I have two different sets of cables. The HDMI cable is a coiled cable, and this is going to be used for my external monitor and my Sony FX30, since both of these use a full HDMI port. And on the right hand side, I have a D-tap to DC cable, which I will be able to use to power my external monitor with my V-mount battery. Both of these cables come individually packed, and they also come in the Alvin's Red series, which is a very nice color because now I have these two cables that will match the cable that I use to run my wireless microphone, which is also a red color. These are very nice, very high quality cables, and I'm super excited to test these out. Let's go ahead and get started with the D-tap cable. So right here, I have the D-tap cable. As I mentioned, this is a D-tap to DC cable, which I will use to power my external monitor. Pulling the cable out of the bag, this color is very nice and it's going to match my whole camera rig when it comes to the wires that I use to set up my camera rig. As I mentioned, this is a D-tap to DC, which is going to be super convenient because I usually power my external monitor with just a USB-C to USB-C. So now I have the ability to use the D-tap that sits on the side of my V-mount battery, and also this right angle DC, which will help me with my cable management, allowing me to keep everything looking very nice and clean. You also have this Velcro strap included, which will help me if the cable is too long. I can coil it up and then add this Velcro strap to keep it at a certain length, but this is going to be very nice with my camera setup. Moving on to the next package, this is going to be an HDMI to an HDMI in the coiled version. Inside the HDMI cable package, I have this little plastic business card, which has a QR code on the back for the warranty, and also an email and a phone number in case I ever need to contact them for customer support. Right here, I have a full HDMI to full HDMI in the coiled version from Alvin's Cables. This coiled feature is going to be super beneficial because regardless of what your camera rig looks like, this will ensure that you have the correct length in order to connect your camera to your external monitor, especially with this HDMI cable, but also ensuring that you don't have extra wire just hanging off your camera rig. They were kind enough to also include a Velcro strip with this one, but being that this is a coiled version, I'm not going to be using it, but in case of storage, I can always use this Velcro strap to keep it nice and organized. As I mentioned, these two cables come in the Alvin's Red series, which is this very nice bright red color, which will help my camera rig stand out. But now I'm super excited as well because I already own a red 3.5mm jack that I use for the receiver of my wireless microphones. So now all my cables are going to be matching. This coiled HDMI cable comes with a very nice threaded fabric outside, which will help you protect your cables and prevent them from getting tangled, while this one comes with a very nice soft outside coating, which will help you prevent any tangling happening within your cables, but also makes it very flexible while protecting your cables as well. Now that we're done taking a look at these two cables, let's go ahead and get started with setting them up with my camera rig. The one thing that I cannot stress enough when it comes to building your camera rig is that your cables are going to be what make or break your build. The reason I say this is because if you end up using generic cables, you're going to eventually run into issues with running power to your camera or external monitor or any additional gear you need to power. You will also eventually run into issues providing dependable live feed to your external monitor, which is super important when shooting with clients. This is why Alvin's cables is the perfect solution for building out your camera rig, since they provide high quality dependable cables that will help you ensure that power will be provided throughout your camera gear, and also that your HDMI cables are able to provide a reliable live feed to your external monitor of what you're actually recording with your camera without any jitters, lags, glitching, or drop off in video. Alvin's Cable's 8K HDMI cable supports refresh rates up to 8K 60Hz and 4K 120Hz. Their D-tap to DC cable is made from new liquid silicone material, which feels soft to the touch and makes it flexible and prevents it from getting tangled. If you're somebody that's looking into building out your camera rig and want a set of very high-end quality dependable cables, I would highly suggest checking out Alvin's cables. I will add a link in the description and also in the pinned comment to the HDMI to HDMI cable that I have right here, along with the DC to D-tap cable that I have right here as well. Along with that, I will also add their website in the description and pinned comment so you guys can browse all the different cable systems that they have available throughout their product line, and so you're able to find the best one for your camera rig. If you do end up having any questions, feel free to go ahead and leave them in the comment section down below. Other than that, I appreciate you guys watching this video, and I'll see you guys next time. Thank you.